guys, what's up? So I just wanted to make this quick video to let you know how many of my embryos made it to freeze. Excuse the hair, I just got out of the shower, but I just wanted to make this quick video before I leave and do some errands. So the doctor called a little while ago. Excuse the sounds of dogs. And it's day 6 of my embryos after fertilization, I guess you could say. And initially, as you know, I had 12 fertilized eggs. So they watch the eggs and you know, make sure that they're growing properly and not all weird. And some of them stop growing, or some of them are just slower than the others. But my doctor only freezes like the really good quality eggs or embryos. So he told me that they were all good quality. I know some doctors do like scales, like grades, like AA is supposed to be like premium, like the best possible quality of egg. Then it goes like AB, BB, BA, something like that. But I asked him and he's just like, you know, they're great quality and they made it all the way to day 6. So that's all I really have to worry about. I don't know, my doctor, like I said, is very vague. But to be completely honest, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I'm blessed and I'm thankful for how many we got, but from starting with 12 and ending with the number that I got, it's kind of disheartening and just like, oh, what happened? So the amount of eggs I got frozen, they're already frozen, is 3. So I got 3 little freezing babies, 3 little frozen babies. It's just, I don't know. When you go from 12, like you just hope that 50% last, but I guess that's not the average. My doctor told me the average that survive typically to day 6 is 25%, 25 to 30%. So I guess I'm right in that range, but I wish we had more. I've read of a lot of women freezing more, but maybe it's just depending on the doctor how many they freeze, and he doesn't freeze ones that he doesn't think will make it if they get implanted. So yes, but I'm still grateful, don't get me wrong. It's just you just hope for a bigger number, because it seems like, you know, when they have to thaw them, especially because I'm doing a frozen transfer. If I was doing a fresh transfer, it'd be a different story. Like I could put in some semi-okay embryos on day 2 or day 5, and then I'll have some to freeze. But no, I didn't have a choice. I only was allowed to do frozen embryo transfer. And I might as well get into this. Going into this, like, I feel like they explained everything correctly and they went over everything step by step, but they forgot or didn't bother to tell me that this month, if you start your cycle, you're only going to be able to do a frozen embryo transfer, not a fresh. And that was not explained to me at all. I wish I would have been able to do a fresh transfer plus freeze any extra if we had any. But yeah, my coordinator did not tell me this. And I called in and I was like, oh, you know, why can't I do a fresh embryo transfer? And they're like, oh, the doctor is not doing any fresh embryo transfers this month because he's going on vacation. And I was kind of like, what? I'm like, okay, don't you guys think you should let everyone know that, hey, if you guys start it this month, start your cycle, then you only have frozen options. So I don't know, that's my frustration. Just make sure if you're going to start this process, ask like, hey, do you guys only do frozen transfers or do you allow fresh? And if so, is this month when I start my cycle going to be able to do fresh transfers, if that's what you want? I know frozen is supposed to be better for the woman because they're not all drugged up on these hormones and stuff in your body. It's kind of back to its natural state, not completely bombarded with all these medications. But from reading on this, this is kind of pissing me off as well. Where did it say? So I had to sign this consent for you know, freezing my embryos and then having to thaw them, obviously, when I'm ready to put them in. And it says they are not responsible, a big percentage, wait, not a big percentage. some embryos may not survive the thaw, and they don't guarantee, you know, the survival. Obviously I understand that, but I didn't even know that there's a possibility that they can't survive the thaw. So that's what pisses me off. It's like, I could have had a fresh transfer and, you know, guarantee that they're gonna, you know, survive at least to make it into my uterus. Whether they implant or not, that's a different story, but freezing them and then thawing them and then they don't survive, like, that is fucking scary. So that is my frustration. Now I know. And like I said, all you women out there, make sure you ask a lot of questions. I felt like they explained everything, so I didn't have any questions. And then when, you know, you kind of sit back and think, you're like, oh, okay. I'm reading and watching videos about women doing fresh transfers. Like, why can't I do a fresh transfer? So just pray for me that when I'm ready to do my transfer, that they survive the thaw. I have 3, so me and my husband decided that we are gonna put in 2 the first try, and if that doesn't work, then we'll put in the 1 if it survives, because I know they thaw more than just the amount that you want to implant or insert for the transfer. But if the 3rd one doesn't survive, either thaw and refreeze, we're gonna have to start this all over again. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm trying to keep my spirits up, staying positive. And I know everything's gonna be okay. It's just another thing you have to deal with. And I have to, you know, deal with it. But that's what life is. And we're gonna keep positive, like I said. And I just envision myself with a child, and I know it's gonna work this first time, so I'm thankful that I have 3 little frozen babies. I'm very thankful. It's better than not having any. I've had some women where they only have 1, I've heard, so I just have to be grateful and thankful, and I am. I just pray that they survive the thaw. All right. Again, please pray for me. I appreciate all of the prayers and great wishes that you guys have been pouring out to me. Thank you. Well, I'll give you an update when we start this frozen embryo transfer. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.